boys and girls. Hello. Today we are going to be reviewing Ghostbusters: The Frozen Empire.
That funny was so moving.
So before we start, I tend to talk about spoilers a lot, so I might as well just throw the spoiler warning up now and make this a spoiler review because I do tend to talk about quite a bit of spoilers. Knocked over my new Godzilla Kong cup, which I bought while watching Godzilla X Kong. Which I still haven't done a review for that either, so I'm going to be recording that after this. I had went and watched Ghostbusters with a coworker of mine the weekend it came out, and I've been too busy to do a review for it, but I'd taken some notes that weekend after I had watched it, and I've been watching like all the old Ghostbusters movies, which I didn't remember I already had the first two Ghostbusters. I couldn't remember that, so I picked this one up with all three of them. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and then Afterlife. And so I rewatched all these before I went and watched Frozen Empire. So I'd been doing a rewatch leading up to the new Ghostbusters. Yeah, I like the original Ghostbusters quite a bit, but for me, like, there's not a whole lot of nostalgia there. The songs, yeah, I have nostalgia for the song Ghostbusters, but I didn't even watch the movies until I was like at the age of 12 or something like that. So like the movies, I didn't grow up watching them. I don't have nostalgia for the older Ghostbusters. But when I watched Afterlife when it came out a few years ago with like the small marshmallow, I forget the actual name of those guys. Stay Puffed? I think it's Stay Puffed Marshmallows. Yeah. When those little guys come out in Afterlife while Paul Rudd is in a Walmart for the first time, like seeing all those guys come out of the Stay Puft marshmallow bags and like start killing each other. That stuff was it was just so strange, and like just I love Afterlife. Like just like Paul Rudd, and then you got I wanted to say Millie Bobby Brown. That's not Millie Bobby Brown. That is, what is her name? Grace. It's something Grace, isn't it? What is her name? McKenna Grace. Okay, yeah, McKenna Grace. I knew it wasn't Millie Bobby Brown. It was McKenna Grace, which I know her from like playing in Fuller House on Netflix, and then she was in that movie with Chris Evans. Yeah, she was in that movie with Chris Evans. I don't remember the name of that movie. Gifted. That's it. And then she was in Young Sheldon and the Conjuring movies, I think. I think she was one of the little girls in Conjuring. She was a lot younger then. Anyway, McKenna Grace was wonderful. Paul Rudd was wonderful. The kid from Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard, he's just as great as McKenna Grace. And then, you know, getting the background story of like them being Egon's grandchildren, and Egon moved to Oklahoma and like basically left his family to fend for themselves and left his team to fend for themselves, and like we get this whole history between the old Ghostbusters team. We get this real like, yeah, I don't think the villains and stuff were as good in Afterlife as they were in the original Ghostbusters. I think that's probably the only negative I had to Afterlife. Was I liked the antagonist of the first two films more than I did Afterlife. Now that we're on Frozen Empire and they've brought in a new antagonist that we've never met before, it's a different story, and we've got a completely different story for this one. They're back in New York. McKenna Grace has made a ghost friend or a ghost girlfriend. And then we've got like cameos, or actually they aren't even cameos. They are like actual guest appearances from the old the old Ghostbusters that are still alive. Of course, we still see Egon in the Afterlife film, but we don't see him in this one. But we do get to see the other three Ghostbusters again show up, and they all work at the firehouse, the original location of the Ghostbusters, and yeah, it's fantastic getting to just see how like their life has changed from, you know, they just packed up and moved to Oklahoma in the first one. Didn't even want to move to Oklahoma, but they moved to Oklahoma in the first one. And then now they're moving to New York, back to the firehouse, just so to see their life change dramatically like that. And for McKenna Grace to be like the youngest Ghostbuster, not even 18 yet, so like they try to tell her that she can't be a Ghostbuster, which I don't think is right. Like, she's the smartest person on the team. She's Egon's granddaughter. Like, you need her help. Why would you try and push her aside and listen to the corporation of it all, and not like follow your heart and be like, you know what, actually you're wrong, our daughter is like the smartest one on the team, she's a Ghostbuster more than any of us. I don't know why they just didn't, stick up for their daughter. I had a problem with that, but that's the only issues I had with the film, other than her ghost girlfriend's betrayal and like kind of cliche of working for the antagonist. I I assumed that was going to happen. So I didn't like that they just went the cliche route, had her work for the antagonist and betray her new friends. But, Hollywood's gonna be cliche sometimes, and they just can't help themselves. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie. It was a decent movie. I enjoy the antagonist more in Frozen Empire. I think I enjoy like the action and the ghost busting scenes more in Afterlife, but I think I like the humanity and the storytelling more in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the newer one. Oh, and I did like that we got a guest star from Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt's always amazing in everything he does, and seeing him in Frozen Empire, that was fantastic, as well as Kumail Nanjiani. But Kumail's character, mm, I liked that he got fire powers. Does that really fit the Ghostbusters world? I don't know. Like, yeah, their antagonist he was like a frozen demon, you know, to have an ancient protector that knows how to shoot fireballs, can basically firebend. Um, to have an ancient protector firebender against a frozen hell demon, you know, like, yeah, I guess that works, but did they really need his character to have powers? I thought he was just going to be like a comic relief character, kind of like what Rick Moranis's character was in the original two Ghostbusters. Which, honestly, I'm surprised he wasn't in this. Well, I'm not. I guess he stepped away from Hollywood, right? But I've heard that there's rumors that he may be coming back for like a new Shrunk the Kids movie. I don't know what that would be like. It's been a while since I've seen those. Maybe I should do movie reactions for those because it's been a long time. And I think I've only seen the first one all the way through. I've never seen, like, I Blew Up the Kid, I Shrunk Ourselves. And is there another one? I don't know if there's another one or not. But it's been a while since I've seen those, so maybe I should do movie reactions for those. But I've heard rumors that Rick Moranis is coming back to do like another one of those. So it did kind of surprise me that he didn't just make a small appearance in Frozen Empire. But maybe if we get a third Ghostbusters from, what's the director's name of Frozen Empire? I know it's the son, Jill Keenan. Is that his name? I think that's, if I remember right, like he's the son of the original director of Ghostbusters. Let me confirm that real quick before I, be telling you guys wrong. Okay. So I was wrong. He direct the son of the original Ghostbusters director directed Afterlife, and he co-wrote Frozen Empire, but he had to step down from directing it, so it wasn't him who directed it. It wasn't Jason Reitman who directed Frozen Empire. It was Gil Keenan. Okay, yeah. All right. Sorry, I had to confirm that because I didn't want to tell you guys wrong. But yeah, so like it's still written by or co-written by the son of the original Ghostbusters. So like it still has like the same sort of people working on the film. Dan Aykroyd, the Reitman, father son duo, like all the cast, with Bill Murray and I can't think of the other guy's name. Ernie Hudson. Took me a minute to figure out his name. But yeah, like it still has the same few amount of people working on like the script and the storytelling and the costuming and like the writing and the directing and producing and all that. So the cast and crew are like phenomenal, just as always for any Ghostbusters film. Paul Rudd was hilarious, just as he is in almost everything. One of my favorite lines from Frozen Empire is just when he is talking to, I don't know, were they like boyfriend, girlfriend? Were they fiancés? Were they actually married? Because she called him dad at one point. So I don't know what their relationship actually were. They never actually explained that, I don't think. He kind of is just there with them. Like he started out as their teacher and then went on a few dates with their mom. But has their relationship grown more than that? Like I don't know. Like they didn't say anything. Yeah, like my favorite line is when he's just talking to his girlfriend, I'm gonna say. The kid's mom. I can't remember the actress who plays her. Actually, let me look up her name. Carrie Coon. That's her name. Yeah, Carrie Coon is the one that played Callie, their mom. Um, Paul Rudd's character, the teacher, he's sitting there talking to her at one point, and she, like, it's like a pretty serious conversation they're having here, you know, and he just starts looking around. He's like, "Who you gonna call though? Who you gonna call?" It's just the way he says that, like it had me fucking dying in the theaters. He's just like, "Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters." Like it was just so funny. It was so funny. It was it was spot on. Just like the opening to the movie, how they used the Ghostbusters logo from the other films, the classic Ghostbusters logo to open up the movie with that was spot on as well. Yeah, Paul Rudd is just such an amazing dude. I love him in everything. One of my favorite roles that he's been in is from the movie Our Idiot Brother. That's one of his funniest roles he's done. And I know I've already brought up the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Men, but I want to bring them up again because they were just as adorable and just 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 as strange. Like they killed each other in just as strange as ways as they were in Afterlife, you know, with them making each other into s'mores or whatever. Like, except this time they were all hanging out in the laboratory or the basement of the firehouse or wherever those people were that were like trying to figure out what was going on and experiment with all the ghost and stuff with all the storage facilities for all the ghost, wherever that place was. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Men were just hanging out there with them, and it was pretty cute. And then when the well, I guess he doesn't really show up, but when you get the filling and like you can see the effects of the frozen antagonist start coming into the overworld, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like start running away or trying to hide. That was adorable. Led to the Ghostbusters, like, what's going on? Why are they all, you know, running away and hiding? So they knew something was going on. Yeah, it was great. Oh, the kid that played Podcast, almost forgot about him. He's back in this one. I liked him in Afterlife. I thought he was great in Afterlife. Yeah, in Afterlife. I like him even more in this one. He was just as funny. I don't think he was in the film as long for this one. I don't think he had like as big as a role as he did for the first one, but he was still a great side character to follow along with, and for him to like get along with Dan Aykroyd and his character. Yeah, that was adorable. Just them two getting along and like talking about podcast and all that. I'm trying to think of Like I have my notes here. I'm trying to think of if I've missed anything. Paul Rudd, no. I've already covered him. McKenna Grace's character. Yeah, I've covered that. Oh, I do agree with Chris over at 3C Films. The I think it was cool what they were trying to do with McKenna Grace's character and her like going into that machine and like trying to like make her ghost friend feel comfortable, and like so she was trying to make her feel comfortable. And yeah, I like what they were trying to do with that scene, but I don't think McKenna Grace's character would have just given up her soul or her body like that, like for the antagonist. I think that was kind of a like nonsense scene, pointless scene, kind of. Yeah, I like that she was like trying to make her ghost friend comfortable enough to like go into that machine and like be like her, but I don't think she would have risked it, would she? I don't know. Maybe that's just my own insecurities with that. Like I don't know if I'd trust that thing, and I don't know if I'd even trust the ghost friend at that point. But to like go into that machine and then turn yourself into like a ghost for a few minutes, like I don't know if I'd trust all that. I don't know. That I'm not a writer. I'm not, a filmmaker. It's not my story to tell, and I liked the story that they did. I think we should have had the antagonist in the movie longer. The antagonist wasn't in the movie very long at all. At one point, I honestly thought the antagonist was going to win, and that we were going to just end the movie with like all the Ghostbusters frozen and the antagonist like freezing the rest of the world. I thought he was just going to freeze over Earth, but that didn't happen. The ghost friend actually betrayed the antagonist after betraying her friend. She betrayed the antagonist, and then all she had to do was light a lighter, and Camille Nanjiani could stop him after that. Like I don't understand. I don't understand the ending. I kind of wish that they would have just ended the movie with the cast being frozen, and then the antagonist gives like a creepy smile to the camera, looks straight into the camera and gives like a creepy smile, and it just ends with zooming in on his face. I kind of wish that was the ending, and then we get, like move on to the third film with them having to deal with the destruction of a frozen Earth. I think that would have been a great concept of a trilogy of films. Like you have Afterlife, then you have Frozen Empire, and Frozen Empire actually turns into a Frozen Empire in the third film, And then they have to deal with trying to ghost bust all those ghosts that have escaped or have risen up, since the Frozen antagonist took over the world. I think that would be a great third film. But they ruined that by killing off the Frozen antagonist within like a minute or two after him being on screen. Worthless fight. But with all my negatives about the film, I still really enjoyed the film. And I'm going to give the film an 8 out of 10 just for that line of Paul Rudd. Who you gonna call? Huh? Who you gonna call? It's just us. Who you gonna call? Like, if we aren't the Ghostbusters anymore, who is there to call? But yeah, I think that's going to be my review for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I hope you enjoyed my take on the film, and look out for my review for the MonsterVerse, the new iteration, or the new iteration of MonsterVerse, the Godzilla X Kong movie. I've been, rewatching all of these films as well, and I reacted to the entire Monarch series that have been coming out on my YouTube. I think I've posted the first 4 episodes so far. 5 and 6 will come out next week, and then 7 and 8 should come out next weekend, and then the final 2 will come out the week after that. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye out for my Godzilla X Kong The New Empire review, and I will see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.